Basically, what Mr. Trump is now pursuing in the field of international relations and law, which is surrender, is incompatible with respecting the principle of national sovereignty. No country is prepared to allow any other country's bullying, occupation, and hegemony. Moreover, that era has passed. This also reveals a bitter reality. Iran's resistance stands in contrast to the United States, which, not as a leading power but as a hegemonic one, has always pursued these goals while hiding behind the guise of respecting so-called international norms. Fortunately, Trump lacks any adherence to such norms. The recent statements by Iran's leadership came from Ayatollah Mojtaba Khamenei, who explicitly stated three things. First, we do not accept a unilateral ceasefire. Second, this is a condition of war. Third, under current wartime conditions, we certainly raise our demands, which can be presented through negotiations. We have made our demands and expectations clear, and they are incompatible with American dominance and so-called American arrogance. Therefore, they are rejected. In their view, negotiation is like one side being the American police and the other side like Mr. George Floyd's neck under the policeman's knee. We do not accept such an equation at all. We are a powerful country, and we strongly stand by and defend our national security interests. We have stood firm, and now we are waiting to receive both compensation and acceptance of responsibility for the attack on Iran in these potential negotiations, and that will happen. When we solidify our victory, the opposing side must submit to what they have done. The attack on Iran, the damages they inflicted, and they must abandon the path they have followed so far. If there are differences of opinion, those would be among officials who are colloquially called surrender seekers. If they know such officials, they should introduce them to us. Certainly, Parliament, the government, and the people will deal with that official and those officials. But I doubt such an official exists within the system. If there are people outside the system seeking Iran's surrender to American demands, that is another matter. Whoever controls the Strait of Hormuz is clearly the victor in this arena. If necessary, we can also influence Bab el-Mandeb. On one side, you have people coming out every night to gather in streets and squares across Iran, demanding resistance and confrontation with America. But on the other side, look at what kind of discourse is exchanged today between government officials and congressional officials when the Trump administration enters Congress, the audacity, the insults. They say this administration has no achievements and must answer today. The government accuses the military of lying, and congressional officials are accused of dishonor. We have to ask ourselves, is this seen in Iran or in America? Regarding the ships they are seizing, there are perhaps one or two ships that are thousands of miles away from the Strait of Hormuz. We have already sent dozens of oil tankers to their destinations, and now the Chinese are also taking much clearer and more explicit stances against American piracy. Another point, Mr. Trump claims, yes, we are engaging in piracy, and it's profitable. So if we are dealing with pirates and want to trust them, that's a separate discussion. Today, we are a government and a nation with a clear identity, with territory and geographical boundaries under our control. Therefore, it is clear that the victors will be nations, not thieves. Mr. Trump can enter a war before traveling to Beijing, at which, in my opinion, the trip may no longer be needed and he should take a different trip. And if not, then he must meet with Mr. Xi Jinping at a point to determine whether they want to continue the law of the jungle. China today has taken over the rotating presidency of the UN Security Council. In these conditions, the Chinese have recently declared their positions, which are protecting and defending the international legal system, international institutions, and the United Nations. I think Mr. Trump's fundamental problem is that he cannot bring his forces back to the United States. His problem is that he has no real achievements, so he feels he must find a way out by traveling to Beijing, perhaps so that China can mediate and give him enough credibility to return to the US. On top of that, the two naval vessels he brought with him have developed technical problems, and there are even reports of mutiny and other issues. So from this perspective, I think it would be better for Mr. Trump to go to Beijing as soon as possible and not delay any longer. He seems to be waiting for some kind of 15-day window of opportunity. But even those 15 days would be wasted. Either he returns to the United States, or he goes quickly to Beijing to see what can be done.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to Mirror Now.